What happens if a cop pulls over a drill sergeant? I found out during my time as a state trooper working the highways around Fort Campbell, Kentucky. This particular drill sergeant thought his uniform made him untouchable, and he was about to learn otherwise. It was a Tuesday evening when I clocked a black pickup truck doing 95 in a 65 zone. When I pulled him over, out stepped this guy in Army ACUs with drill sergeant rank clearly visible. Before I could even finish my approach, he was already yelling, "Do you have any idea who you just pulled over? I'm a drill sergeant in the United States Army, and I don't have time for this civilian nonsense." I stayed professional. "Sir, I clocked you doing 95 in a 65. License and registration, please." That's when he really went off. "Listen here, boy, I've been training soldiers while you've been writing speeding tickets. I suggest you get back in your little car and find some real criminals to chase." The disrespect was unreal, but I kept my cool. "Sir, military rank doesn't exempt you from traffic laws. I need your license and registration." He threw his wallet at me and said, "There's your damn license. And when you're done wasting my time, I'll be calling your supervisor to explain how you harassed a non-commissioned officer." I wrote him the ticket for reckless driving instead of just speeding. His attitude had just cost him an extra $300 in points on his license. As I handed him the citation, he looked me dead in the eye and said, "This ticket better disappear, or you'll be hearing from people way above your pay grade." That sounded like a threat to me. 3 weeks later, the ticket hadn't been paid and he'd missed his court date. Standard procedure was to issue a bench warrant for failure to appear. But something told me to wait and see what his people above my pay grade would do. A month passed. Nothing. Then I got a call that changed everything. A woman identifying herself as Colonel Sarah Martinez from Fort Campbell JAG office wanted to meet with me about an incident involving one of our NCOs. We met at a coffee shop near the base, and she didn't waste time with pleasantries. "Trooper Johnson, we've received some concerning information about Staff Sergeant Williams. Can you tell me about your interaction with him?" I explained the whole situation. The speeding, the disrespect, the threats, the unpaid ticket. Colonel Martinez took notes on everything and asked me to email her the dash cam footage. "I want you to know that Sergeant Williams' behavior does not represent the values of this installation or the United States Army. We take civilian-military relations very seriously." She handed me her business card. "You'll be hearing from us soon." 2 days later, my phone rang. The caller ID showed Fort Campbell. "Trooper Johnson, this is Staff Sergeant Williams. I'm calling to apologize for my conduct during our traffic stop. My behavior was completely unacceptable and unprofessional." His voice was completely different, respectful, almost scared. "I want to pay the citation immediately and ask if there's anything else I can do to make this right." Before I could respond, another voice came on the line. "Trooper Johnson, this is Colonel Martinez. Sergeant Williams is here with myself and his battalion commander. He has something else he'd like to say." Williams came back on, and I could hear the nervousness in his voice. "Sir, I want you to know that I've been counseled on proper conduct when interacting with civilian law enforcement. I will never behave that way again." Then Colonel Martinez explained what had happened. Williams had been demoted from staff sergeant to sergeant, lost his drill sergeant position, was transferred to a different unit, and had received a formal reprimand that would follow him for the rest of his career. "Additionally," she continued, "Sergeant Williams will be writing a formal letter of apology to your department and attending a professional development course on civilian-military relations." The best part came next. "Trooper Johnson, would you be willing to visit our base and speak to our NCOs about proper interaction with civilian authorities? We'd like to use this as a learning opportunity." 6 months later, I was standing in front of 200 soldiers at Fort Campbell, telling them exactly what happens when military personnel think their rank makes them above civilian law. And sitting in the front row, taking notes like his life depended on it, was the former drill sergeant who'd threatened me on that highway. After my presentation, he approached me privately. "Trooper Johnson, I want to thank you. I was completely out of line that night, and you handled it professionally when you could have made my life much worse." He pulled out his phone and showed me a picture of his family. "I almost lost my career over my ego. Your professionalism saved my job and my family's livelihood. I'll never forget that lesson." That in